Hello, welcome to episode 14, Life in the Flat Lane. We can see where the Richter scale is. That's on an 8. That's thanks to MSK from yesterday, but more about that in a minute. So, it was, I think I left you on Sunday night with the fact that I was finally seeing MSK after a 4-week wait yesterday. And yeah, talk about feeling deflated is an understatement, how I felt when I got home. The guy I saw at the surgery is a physio. So it's not a specialist, it's a physiotherapist. He is a specialist in his field, but he's not a specialist in my field. And I got a little bit nervous when you get to the waiting room and there's no reception team there. So thankfully there's another patient who was waiting there. They tell you you just need to sit and wait and they'll call you in. So you're like, that's a little bit weird. And then one guy popped his head out the room and said, can I ask your name? So I gave my name and I said, and who are you here to see? So I told him and he said, oh, that's me. So he then went back into his room and I immediately looked at the wife and said, so he knows everything about me then, doesn't he? Clearly not. So we knew we were going to be in for a fun time. So I went in and straight away started with questions that literally you can tell somebody who does not know my history at all, has not read my notes, has read a brief summary or something. Now, the amount of stuff I had to fill in before I even got there, 15 minutes on a form that they asked me to fill in a few weeks ago, clearly not read any of it. What's the point? And to say I'm annoyed and getting more and more annoyed is an absolute understatement, and I want to absolutely launch and swear my head off.
Family show.
It is a family show, so yeah. So yeah, he then said, I need to go through some various exercises with you, normal physio stuff. And now the Richter scale is on an 8. It's going to stay there because that has not changed all day today. And it came on very, very rapidly after twisting and manipulation yesterday. So I knew that was coming. Thanks very much for that one. But he had to do his bit for his report. And after I then sat down and stopped him in his tracks and said, look, let me give you the history, tell you what's gone on. See, and he then said, so what is it you're looking for? And I thought, preferably with some help, just to not to put too fine a point in it. He's normally what they would do is they would do the physio. If that didn't work for a few weeks, then they potentially refer you on if needed to any specialist and see if that's going to work. So he's going to write his report and he's going to try and get me referred on to the next stage, which would be like a one-stop shop, as he called it. So basically, it's like go to a place where there's lots of different people, different specialists in their field, and then you go to one, you go to the other, and you go to the other as needed. 6 to 8 weeks. 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, I won't add the word I should add in the middle of that, but 6 to 8 weeks. He will try and expedite things. Every time anybody's tried to expedite anything, when it's done with the NHS, I've never ever had it expedited. I'm ex-military. We normally would, or we should, get a bit of a preferential treatment. It's known that the veterans do get, or supposed to, because you have to declare that when you go to any NHS department. It's a question that they ask you. Doesn't count for anything at all. The other interesting thing is I've never told you where I work. I work for the NHS in a department at the NHS. So they're doing this for one of their own. So I'm getting more and more annoyed, as you can probably tell. So yeah, 6 to 8 weeks now. And that's if they agree to it. He say they may knock him back and say, no, go through the physio. At which point I'm going to stick 2 fingers firmly up somewhere where the sun don't shine. Trust me. His advice to me was, there's nothing to do with no painkillers. I've got to go back to the GP and sort some out with those, by the looks of it, because I'm still coming off the tramadol and reducing that, and I'm almost off that now, which is good. But that, of course, is not helping this at all. I need to be taking something to relieve this, and that might have to happen if I have another day like today, for instance. If that happens again tomorrow, then I might just dose up and just sleep, because that's going to help, because it's just not easing off. At 3 o'clock this morning I was awake, just for good measure. Like most mornings it's usually 5. Very rarely I've had a good lie in till 7. That's a lie-in. But usually it's 5 or 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning when I'm getting up, which is not very pleasant at all. 4 months now. 4 months with another 6 to 8 6 to 8 weeks. And work are not looking favourable. Oh, can't they speed things up? Can't they do X, Y, Z? It's their own organisation, and this is how. I'm not saying that I should receive any kind of special treatment. I'm just saying I work for them, um, and I'm aware of delays in specific areas, and the reasons behind those. I get it. I get certainly, with the volume of people that are requiring stuff, but this is ridiculous. I have not seen a back specialist at
I
all.
understand delays.
I
I
understand the
don't
delays.
understand having to jump through so many hoops.
This is the thing I was going to mention next. It's so far since the middle of January, um, and I've still not seen a back specialist. Now, it was 15 or 16 years ago when I had a massive flare up on this, when I had a huge spasm. And within 30 seconds of that spasm, I was not able to walk for nearly 6 weeks, monstrous amounts of medication. But I was then rapidly referred to hospital for imaging work and for consultant observations and talking what was available and what was not available. That was 2 months max, maybe 10 weeks max. Yeah. And at the moment, I'm not getting anything. It's getting harder and harder and harder, and the goalposts are getting further and further away. And this is now even the same with my own GP practice. The GP practice no longer take phone calls to book appointments. You now have to do it via an online system. You fill in a form. A clinician will then review what you've written and decide whether it's urgent, same-day service, whether it needs to be within the next 7 days, or whether it needs to be within the next 28 days. I understand why, to stop that morning rush of you queuing on the phone from 8 o'clock in the morning. The way they did it, though, they sent out a reminder text last Monday to remind all the patients. Now, I'm a participant in the patient participation group. I used to be the chairman for a couple of years. So I'm on the PPG group. And they sent out a reminder text last Monday, the 20th, to tell everybody that to remind everybody this was happening. That's the first anybody had heard of it. It had been mentioned at a PPG group, which I hadn't been to, nor have I had the minutes for either. So I'm not seeing anything about it. So the reminder was actual, this is happening. And by the way, it's happening today. They sent that message out on the 20th, the day that it came into effect, without explaining what it was and how on earth it worked. I went onto the PPG group, threw some messages out there, and I got some feedback from that, which told me how it worked from the practice themselves. That shouldn't happen. There's 14,000 patients in 2 practices that come under that particular group. That's 14,000 people. I've got no idea that this is a new way of doing things. So now it's just an extra hurdle to go through. But there's, and getting through the door of your GP now seems to be harder and harder as well. So it's, the whole thing is just absolutely taking more and more time. I understand from where they're coming from, the booking system, because the previous one wasn't working. If you didn't select option 1, which was book an emergency appointment, and you select a different one, i.e. repeat prescription, it didn't hold your place in the queue. It would bump you down. So everybody that phoned after you that then said, I want an urgent appointment, they got put to the queue first. 2.5 hours I was waiting for a call back one day, and then it threw me out of the system. So I actually went to the surgery and had a little word with reception and told them that. And what they hadn't explained was that this new system, that's what it did. It prioritised the calls that came in. So if you were number one for wanting an urgent booking, it prioritised those calls. Anything else got bumped down. Eventually, it kicked you out of the system after waiting for so long. What's the point having a callback? And it tells you it will keep your place in the queue. It doesn't work that way. So not the best, unfortunately. Very disappointed because I've still got absolutely no further. So I'm going to have an interesting phone call with work at some point this week when my workforce manager is going to be phoning me to ask for an update. I mean, obviously, I'm keeping an eye on redeployment at the moment because going back to my previous role is going to be physically impossible within a given timescale. So yeah, we'll see where that goes. I'll end up being medically retired at this rate because that's the process. That process will be faster than the medical process to fix me, or to at least give me some form of getting up and moving. I even told the physio yesterday that I'm going to use a stick and a wheelchair, and his advice was walk. I can't walk that far. Oh, walk when you can. I do. when I get the opportunity, I do. It's not as though I've had this for a very long time and I've looked after it for so long. It's clearly got a lot worse. It needs something doing to it, and I'm just a little bit sick to the back teeth and fed up. So yeah, now we've just got to be patient yet again for potentially 6 to 8 weeks, and that's providing they agree to accept. If they bump it back, there's obviously going to be holy hell to pay. But who do I take it up with? That's my next question. I don't know, so I need to look into that. So in the meantime, I've got to wait now, just take it relax and get my back ready for Saturday because GB are playing Italy in the ice hockey, which at the Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham. So looking forward to that. So that's going to be a night out.
We might see Paul Chuckle.
And Paul Chuckles. Oh yes, yeah. There's a mission is to find Paul Chuckle on Saturday. It would appear that he was waving a hockey stick around on the ice with the team today at practice.
He was with Hazeldine.
Was he? Oh, so he was with Nottingham Panthers player ex-Panthers player, isn't he now? Is he Storm now?
Josh, I can't remember.
Can't remember who he's with now. Can't remember. But yeah, so he was with him today practicing.
To me.
Yeah, there was no to you though.
You were supposed to say to you. I
Can't do it. Is it from the grave? To you. To it to who? Oh, she doesn't look impressed at that one at all. So I've got that, and then I've got the anniversary to look forward to next week. I have my card, I have my present. I've still not read the card, but I'm organised. I've got a week to do this, so I don't have to rush.
I haven't written mine yet.
See, I'm not the only
I bought
one.
mine before yours.
What, the card? Yeah, you got the present yet?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got the present as well then. So we're both sorted. Yeah, we've got to decide where we're going for a meal yet. That's the only thing we haven't done, or what we're doing for food that day. We haven't decided that yet. I'm sure we'll pick up some McDonald's drive-through, something like that. Classy. No? Okay. KFC then. Burger King. Much prefer a Burger King. Yeah. So something along those lines. So yeah, that's going to be us next week. I'll probably update on Friday before the weekend, and then probably again on Sunday. But yeah, unfortunately, massively disappointed. I'm extremely pissed off. I'm still in exactly the same position I was before, and I've got no change for another potentially 2 to 3 months, or no, 6 weeks to 8 weeks, so a month and a half to 2 months potentially, unless I do as this one-off time get expedited. We'll see what happens. Yeah. I hope everybody else is having a fantastic time. No, I do. I really do. You're all having a great time, and I'll speak to you again soon. Take care. Bye now.